Fool.
What?
Oh man, sneeze in your mask.
I didn't. Yeah,
that's my mask.
That's the start of the.
Yeah.
That's the start, right?
Yeah, that's the start. I wanted to be
Sneeze us
full
in.
Jason. Yeah, sneeze us in. But anyway, all right, we're going.
Yeah.
We got
Again, thank you for coming.
yes. Brian with BryanGolf.
Yep.
The legend around Fleming.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
I
The
will
legend
also
around
say
America.
you are much taller than I thought you were going to be.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you walked in, I was like, dude,
I've heard
Instagram.
because of the hair.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, you're 6'4".
Oh, man.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're,
know.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I depending on what convenience store I walk out of, I'm like, 6'1", and then I'm looking up at you.
I have a couple buddies that are like 6'8", and like all of a sudden, so I don't ever feel that tall.
Yeah.
When I'm around my wife, I do. She says she's 5'6" or 5'5", and we did like we had one of those things. And we've probably done this multiple times where you like measure your family. You're like, all right, whip out the measuring tape. How tall is everybody? Stand up against the wall. Did this, and I mean, she's like 5'5", and she just feels 5'1".
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. I'm hoping I'm growing.
Do you think have you ever thought about those things? Because when you look at like the basketball players, it seems like they always die really early because it's like your heart's got to pump all that extra
Everything's
blood.
so big.
Oh my
You ever
God.
thought about that?
Yeah, my poor. Now
At
he's
6'4", no.
Yeah, 6'4", you're good.
At
But like
6'4", no. But like
Shaq,
6'7".
would I want to be
proactive.
7'5",
Yeah.
like Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
7'4", like Victor, and have this awesome career and awesome life, but I'm only potentially going to live like to be 60 or 70. I would say no.
Well, the
probably
problem, even with like tall people and big people, it's like sometimes it's like fishing. I got some buddies that are big and tall, but you kind of screw the boat up.
Yeah.
For weight distribution, to get in tight spaces, to fix shit that's going on, and
But
you
being
can't get in
fat and
it's not fat. It's just tall. You
Some
figure
people are big. Some people are
big.
buff and
Right.
big,
That's what
man.
I'm saying. His name's Mason. This guy's 6'7", 6'8", and he's probably 300 pounds, but he's not fat. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just big.
He's
but
solid.
It's just hard to deal
My
with.
chiropractor always told me, it's like, hey, man, my back here, my back. He's like, you're too tall for the world.
Yeah.
So it's like once you hit a certain point, you're just too
do
tall.
you think that chiropractors are fake doctors?
No, I do not.
Really?
I do not.
I'm scared to go to one.
Really?
I feel like they're gonna break my neck and kill me.
No, that's not gonna happen. My wife doesn't like getting her neck adjusted.
Has she?
Have you ever had that Y thing done on your neck where they
No.
yank your neck?
And I think she has. There's
Ugh.
the chiropractor that she's gone to before. It's Bold City or something like that. Maybe it's over in like Orange Park by like Best Buy and all that. She's gone there, and I think they do that there. And they're like more the holistic type of chiropractor.
That's what I like.
And everybody's got like rave reviews on them and all that, but like I like the physical therapy, more athletic type of chiropractor,
I see what you're
and that's
saying,
where I
yeah.
go to Select and Fleming, and I get like a lot of soft tissue work, and they just got an ice tub, and now they got like the Normatec leg thing, so I can be like LeBron, 'cause
I got a set of
brother.
those.
do you?
Yeah.
We have an account with Therabody. So we're gonna get
I gotcha.
we're gonna get the jet boots or whatever they have. Same, I guess.
I got the same, but still same, different,
Yeah.
but still same.
Yes.
I got the Air Relax.
Okay. What do you think? Because you're a runner,
Dude,
You're a
they're-
runner, former
They're
cyclist,
nice.
right?
Yeah, they're fun. They're like because you can you can do the different zones,
Yes.
and then so if you just want to like hit one area, it's actually really nice. And I got them. I think mine are mediums, so they're. If anything, they're a tad shorter for me, but my
Okay.
wife can still wear them. So like chill, because she runs a lot.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because like I think the large is definitely made for like a like at least in that brand, it's full size. It's like a full size man, and like
Yeah.
mine, if I pull them up really tight, I can kind of get higher up.
Up into the
Yeah,
hip or
but like
whatever.
so I think mine kind of stop right there. But for some reason, and it's like we had like an ongoing joke. If I'll be laying in bed and I'll put them on, and I don't know if it has something to do with the blood flow, but dude, it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit there and I'll go, I'll start a movie and dude, I'm out, and then it's not even through its whole cycle.
Yeah. So all that stuff. So,
But yeah,
I'm like
they're-
so into that. Like I'm so into recovery.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
like
nice.
more into recovery. And you think about it for like anything. I remember the first time on a golf trip, and I went on a golf trip like 3 rounds of golf in 2 days or something. That was my first time really doing that. And I got home and I'm like, my body is wrecked. Like what just happened? And then like probably a year or two later was the first time I was on a similar golf trip, and a buddy threw out the Theragun.
Yeah.
And I like did that on my body, and I'm just like, I feel like I could run into a wall and not be affected right now. I feel so good.
And like I love the recovery stuff because I got like all the scrapers.
Yeah.
I got the guns. I got the leg things.
So but that's what I do at my physical therapy chiropractor. Is like Graston. It's called Graston. So the scraping, its official term is called Graston. It's awesome. It's worked wonders for me. You giving up on the Halloween episode already?
I can't do it.
Man, he sneezes in that thing one time and he's taking it up.
That's my daughter's.
I'm sorry.
You gotta watch that out, man.
I will. I'll sanitize it.
Yeah, I love all that. I love all that stuff.
Like I leave the boots, the recovery boots, underneath our bed. So like you just do it like when you get, especially after you've been on your legs all day, if you go run and stuff, you just kind of chill in the.
Are you scared that they're ever gonna like come alive? Like
no.
They're under your bed, and one night you're gonna be waking up, and they're gonna be upright in your doorway.
Like, they like
staring
fire up
at you
because they're always plugged in. So I guess if it just started, there's like
who's
like,
wearing my boots, man?
Yeah, what's going on underneath the bed?
That'd be great. I've got to get those boots because I've used them one time.
I think I bought mine on eBay for like $400.
Were they cheap ones or they were legit?
No, the Air Relax is a nice brand.
It's Normatec or something, or a brand like it.
Yeah. Because I think Air Relax is based out of like Tampa or something.
Oh,
okay. I think it's a Florida company if I remember right.
Yeah.
But it's got the whole like nice like little digital screen. So
I've seen some of the ones on Instagram, and it's like $150, and you're like, but they're not heating, they're not cooling. I think they just vibrate.
Yeah. These ones are just like it just has the air chambers. And each one has, I think it's like 4 different areas.
How often do you use them?
If we're running a lot, a bunch.
Every day.
Not every day, but like when I was doing like a bunch of triathlon, I would say 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
At night. And then if my wife runs a bunch, like, I would take them off and then she would just put them on.
I'm in. I just need to
get some. Especially for like, if you're going to do it a bunch, like, and it's just, $400 to...
Yeah. It's just like
have
I use my legs every day for something, whether it's golf, standing up all day, basketball, running,
and they have like all
lifting,
the new like arm attachments and stuff like that you can do.
Yes.
So the last time I talked to you, you were trying to run or not doing running or your feet
I was right in the middle of all of that, right?
So, how's that? Are
Ask
you
me how many
anymore?
times I've just statically ran since then.
0.
Probably twice.
Yeah.
Probably twice. I was struggling with what I thought was runner's knee.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden it was just like, okay, am I like an athlete? Am I like, what am I doing? Like, am I a runner? Am I just going to like go run marathons? Cause I do want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
We talked about that, right? Like I do want to do one. Like maybe I'm just like a 5K kind of guy.
Yeah.
And when I started like doing the workouts and everything that I do, I looked at it and was like, all of this cardio, all this like these HIIT workouts and everything, I'm doing that 4 times a week on the basketball court. You know what I mean? Like for fun, for leisure, obviously. And because I joined a basketball league.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's like, all right, I got a designated, I do pickup on Monday. I shoot like hour and a half Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings, and then got a game every Thursday.
What's your team name?
Well, all right, here's the deal. I love how y'all are golfers and we're talking golf usually, but we're now on this basketball league thing. Yeah. This is funny. So Pickup USA, this awesome gym over on Phillips, they did a men's league, right? Their first time doing it. And they've been around for over a year or something like that. So for them to take this long to get to a league, that's all I've been wanting. So I grabbed some of the guys from LA Fitness and we joined the league. We went 0-6.
Holy shit.
Didn't win a game.
Were you like getting blown out each game, or
we would be in a game maybe for the first half? I mean, there were out of those 6 games, maybe 2 or 3 of those where we were leading at halftime, and then we got blown out every single game. So only 4 teams make the playoffs. We didn't make the playoffs. Well, there's another team in there. All right, and they're called Double XL. We were called Monday Mornings. You asked my team name. We're Monday Mornings because we're the Monday Morning Crew. And like this league, they'd like post the scores and everything, and they made logos. I don't know if they just like AI'd it,
right,
or like Monday Mornings, and then all of a sudden it was like a generated logo. But it was hilarious, and they like did really well with it. So anyway, now I'm on this Double XL team, and they a couple weeks before the season ended, one of the guys was like, "Hey, are you doing the next league?" I'm like, I don't think these guys are all running it back. And I'm like, do you want to join our team? I'm like,
oh man, recruitment's now, huh?
So it was like, I feel like I was the first true free agent signing or trade
cool.
in this league. We only have 2-3 weeks off between the season 1 and season 2. And here I am. I'm a free agent. So we start back up Thursday.
So is this team going to be pretty good?
This team's better.
Yeah, better.
They made the playoffs.
Okay, good.
Were the other people sad or
No, see, I don't think anybody was like, there were maybe 1 or 2 that were willing to run it back, but nobody like talked about it. Nobody really was.
Did you get to the point where you're like, oh man, I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
Not because of anything other than we were by far average the oldest team.
Yeah.
I'm 39 and I think we had like a 37 and 38-year-old and 39-year-old, and then everybody else is a couple years older, and we had like a 48-year-old.
Is there any dunking rules?
No, there's in fact one of our guys, it was hilarious. He got dunked on in our first game twice. Like legit Sean Kemp posterizing someone twice in the same game, and it was like in the one of the dunks. I mean, that poor guy, he like did one of these things. It was like, like covered himself, and it was like, this is great. And then probably in our 4th or 5th game, dude got dunked on again by a completely different guy, different team. But no, I mean, is
there a lot of shit talking that going on?
No, I don't think it's like that. There could be, but
just not to you.
Well, I'm just a nice guy.
Are you?
I'm Switzerland, man.
Yeah.
I'll laugh and joke around with people.
You don't like
but
do
I
that
don't.
thing where you like stand like this and they plow into you and you go, yeah, bitch.
I took a charge. All right, in this league. I think I'm also the only person to ever in the history of rec league basketball to take a charge. I did it our first game, like 3 or 4 minutes into the second half. Didn't get to play the rest of the game because I hit my head on the floor. I ain't taking a charge maybe ever in my entire life. Definitely an organized ball.
So this guy is very competitive.
I was thinking to myself as a Pacers fan, which NBA started back up, so I'm all ready for this.
Yeah.
Like I'm in full NBA mode, Pacer mode. But I was thinking of TJ McConnell. Like what would TJ do? Is this guy who is the guy that dunked on my boy twice in that game? I was like, what would TJ do?
This dude just owns the court. It sounds
hold his
like.
ground. What's that?
That guy sounds like he just owns the court.
Pretty sure he like multiple guys in this league played overseas, played pro, semi-pro. There's a lot of a good mix of that. And here's my team. We just play pickup, at LA Fitness on Mondays, and we had a lot of fun.
Do you feel like you're more of you're better defensive player or offensive player?
Well, I'm old as far as basketball goes, so 39. So I would like to say that I can protect the rim better than most. Like I prefer to be down low. Out on the perimeter, some of these guys, no matter how much better I'm getting at it because I'm making a point to be better at it, it doesn't matter. Like some of these guys are so fast in their first step or two that it's like, help. Somebody help me, please. But for the most part, I'm like kind of Draymond Greenish.
Okay.
I'm like the rec league's Draymond Green or Pascal Siakam.
So are you averaging 3 points a game?
No. I don't want to get into statistics, but I averaged more than that.
Well,
I almost averaged a double-double. That's what I'm saying. I had to have been.
Well,
that's why I got recruited.
So you're talking about Draymond Green 5 years ago, then, not.
I'm not talking about today. I'm talking like a 13 to 20 points a game. I probably averaged somewhere right in between there, and then because I only had one game over 20, but it was like 25, 26, but I had a lot of 15, 16, 17, 18. Awesome. But like rebounds. Like I just get rebounds. That's kind of my thing. So
dude, he got recruited.
I got recruited, but honestly that team was really good. They got this guy on the team. It's going to be so much fun playing with a couple of them because like when I say I'm Draymond Green, I don't care if I scored 20 some points in a game in that one game because I had no choice. I had to score, right? So I had to shoot, and I had a lot of putbacks, rebound, putback. We got a couple guys that's like, I'll screen for you.
Right.
I've watched them play, and they're like 70 to 80% 3-point shooters in this league. I'm like, I will just get you open and pass you the ball.
Yeah.
That's my job. Yeah. And then go play defense. Yeah. And then you don't need – that's what people like don't understand, I guess, that like play the game or don't play the game. They see all these athletes and like they might be struggling on offense, or these NBA players might be struggling on offense. It's like, yeah, but you see what they're doing on defense.
Yeah.
They're using all of their energy on defense. By the time they get on offense, they got no legs.
Yeah.
So
I don't really follow basketball that much. I have been to I've been to a couple of Magic games, and like the first Magic game I went to was actually it was Lakers with Kobe and all that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it was we had some pretty decent seats from the girl I was dating at the time. Her dad hooked us up, and I just remember like when I got there, when you watch it on TV and they make it from one side of the court to the other so fast, it's like you don't realize how big their strides are. So like when they stand next to a normal person like at the court, like TV doesn't know justice.
No.
You don't understand how big those guys are.
No.
You just don't.
What's even honestly, I don't want to get off the basketball deal, but even when you go to a PGA Tour event, you don't realize how some of these guys are how small they are.
Small they are.
Yeah.
So
but
tiny.
then you see Scotty and these god darn, pretty big boy, or Tiger is big.
I'll tell you this: the first time I saw Tiger play, the thing because on TV, I think there's definitely that thing where the TV adds 5 pounds or whatever it may be, just the way the cameras, the lens and all that is.
Well, we had
this camera definitely adds like 20 pounds, right?
Well, we had to adjust the camera a couple times because Brian was unhappy with how he looked.
And really, Jared, I'm good. I'm just a fat boy, I'm just fat.
Yeah, Jared saw himself on the camera. And he goes,
is that how you got put in the middle?
No, I'm good with. I'm just fat.
Well, that's why we went from 4 to 3, so that we could do the different zoom.
Yeah.
And then Jared was really bummed on how he looked. So
I used to sit there where you're at.
Oh, okay.
AJ, which we kind of had
the
center
fat chair.
Yeah. Well, no, the fat chair was the chair that was
really close to the camera for sure.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw Tiger, two things happened. One, when I saw him, I couldn't believe how he probably has a 28-inch waist.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom.
Yep.
I'm like,
but that, or you think it was like the style of the time was those big old baggy clothes?
No, this was first time I saw him was 2013, 2013 at the Players.
Yeah.
I always missed him. I never.
I gotcha. Okay.
I never got to see him even the couple years before then. I think the only time I would have seen him would have been 2010, 2011 Players. Something like that. But I was so shocked at. He was a little to me because I thought that he was steroid Tiger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other thing that happened, we were on 14 at TPC Sawgrass. I did that thing where I'm like, Tiger's coming. I'm going to be patient.
Yep.
I want to hear this man hit a golf ball.
Yeah.
I don't care about seeing this one. I want to hear his impact. And I went right to 14 tee, and I was the first person on the rope. And we get there. 3 holes, I probably jumped 3 holes ahead to just sit there, probably watch nobodies for those few holes. Boring tee shot on 14 because everybody bails out right. Yeah. So you don't see any good golf shots really. Tiger comes right in the middle of the swing. The dude's phone next to me went off with a text, and he looked at me, and I just was like, boom. I'm like, you ain't looking at me the one time that I see you.
Did he stop and check it up?
It's me. At that time, I really was like, no phone. I'm not going to turn this thing off. I ain't letting that thing go off because I was so scared.
Like, dude, my shit's in the truck.
Right? Yeah.
So did he check his swing or did he?
Oh, he checked it, man. Yeah. I got to see a Tiger check, but he said something under his breath that I was like, man, I'm so embarrassed that this guy next to me. Yeah. Like, you getting a text message?
Yeah.
On the tee box with Tiger?
That dude probably didn't think he was doing anything wrong.
That's the biggest problem, right? It's like you go to that tournament. I'm sure, like Waste Management, we got friends that go to that, and they're like, you should come. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to be a part of all that. But at the same time, it would be kind of nice to go to a tournament where, honestly, nothing matters. And there are no rules because you just hear sound the entire time. And I think that's what they say is like, for me, I don't care. Like, you can be talking in my swing. It can be super quiet, and you can yell at me, whatever. I'm sure I'll flinch a little bit, but like I'm not bothered by it, whatever it is. I think people say it either needs to be 0 decibels or all the decibels.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be really loud or really quiet.
Yeah.
Was Tiger like the one that kind of started the whole like physical routine? Like now that you see it, like when you watch some of the Netflix crap, was he like the innovator
he definitely
of that?
did. Yeah. Before it was wacky pants and.
What as far as like the doing the the workout, the gym and all that stuff,
getting stronger.
He was definitely that guy, right? But all he did was really and you think about how far behind golf was in anything. Their golf was behind in fitness. They were behind in kind of just overall wellness. You know how these guys live. They're all drinking beer and, and smoking cigarettes on the golf course. All of that. But then also like social media in golf was behind other sports and all that. But all he did was take what other athletes were doing. I don't know if he was picking their brain. I don't know what he was doing. But he's going, oh, well, all these athletes are doing this. Why wouldn't I? It's got. I mean, it clearly changed the game and made him better.
Yeah, how much of it do you think is like fat strength? Because we were talking about that before he came in. Was he said that he's not going to try to lose any more weight because he's playing the best golf ever right now. That he's put on some weight.
Yeah, I got down to 180 pounds.
Good for you.
And but I had no strength.
Ozempic, right?
No Ozempic. I do too hard work.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
a fan.
I'm not going to take that away from you.
Yeah. So I get mad at people with that. But anyway,
don't get mad at me. It was a joke, all right?
Yeah. No. So, but
I will put you in this chair. Like, there's a chair right there. I will bring it back in.
Yeah, no, I don't want none of that. So, but I just couldn't swing the club as fast.
Yeah.
And so now I'm back up to like 190 to 200, and my club head speed is so much faster. I'm stronger. It's fat. Yeah. It's fat weight.
But it's mass.
Yeah.
I think sometimes too, people when they lose a bunch of weight, and I had a friend lose. He's one of the 6'8" guys, like 300. I think it's like 350 or something. He recently weighed himself and got under. He's like your weight.
Yeah.
Now he also looks like he needs to lift some weights.
Right.
If he's listening, watching, Nick, lift some weights, bro.
I'm lifting.
People
some
are
weights.
concerned,
Yeah.
but you lose that much weight, everything's in a different position all of a sudden. Yeah. Like think of John Daly.
Yeah.
The obvious example, but an extreme example. Like that dude's arms sit on his body in a way that he's probably used to it.
Yeah.
Didn't he lose weight at one point in time and it wasn't quite right, something like that? I mean, he's obviously always been good.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you're like, everything's out of position. I don't get much faster when I lose weight. Like I always felt like I made a better swing when I got fat out of the way, or my body could move better, but I don't feel like my speed ever changed. Yeah. I think I just make a better swing. And
maybe so that's with me. I'm not, I don't know. I'm not I'm recreational golfer. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm tearing some ass up right now.
That's good.
So
what is tearing it up like for you? Like what is
86?
That? 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever broken 80? Have we done this?
No, we haven't. I think my best round ever, legitly, and I played golf straight up.
Yeah.
Now, I could say I've shot a 79 where most people would say that, but no, I take it so serious. I'm not giving myself shit.
Well, that's because when you actually make a milestone, you can earn it, right?
Dude, not to cut you off. Yeah. I had my first bogey the other day.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
My first bogey ever. I'm a new golfer.
Oh. You made your first bogey,
real natural bogey.
Yeah.
No, but I was thinking like you played a round and only made one bogey.
Yeah. No, I had that one, and then I had one like 2 holes later, and dude, I was so pumped. You would have thought
bogeys are legit, man.
You would have thought I had parred them.
You know what bogeys are? They're the gateway drug to a par.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was like, I was like, dude, I got the feeling. It felt so good. Because they were like, I had a good drive. I had a good, like one of them was on a par 4. And one of them was on a par 3, I think. We played, where'd I go?
Bent Creek.
Yeah, I went to Bent Creek.
Okay. I played that course one time on their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They have a Super Bowl tournament every year.
It was
played it once,
really narrow.
Won it once.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were
tough
we didn't know what we were getting into.
It was kind of narrow. But back in the day, early days. But do you remember West Meadows or Westland?
No, never heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you go back to your story.
No. That's good. I was with Bent Creek, the West Side courses.
The one that I wanted to play it was when I got here, it was here. When I moved here in like 2010, it was here, and then it was gone immediately. It was like Panther Creek.
That was on. Yep. And that thing set up, and it played tough.
I would have loved. Yeah. I can tell you right now, I would have loved it.
And there was elevation. It was on right across, Chafee Road. It's still there, the subdivision. You don't know where Chafee's at?
No.
On the west side?
Okay, it's west side.
Yeah, west side. So
Okay.
down from
So
Big
kinda
Creek.
Big Creek-ish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's
So-
still the subdivision's there.
Is the grass still there?
No.
Okay.
There's houses
There's
now.
houses there.
Yeah.
That was probably a good investment, though.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
probably
Because
a
there's
good
so many.
financial decision.
But so like, I played high school golf, and then, so I was playing really good golf and then out of high school, and like I said, legitly on those cow pasture fields, I would shoot 80
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
80.
Rating.
Not
But
79.
Not breaking it.
Yeah, just 80. But like on a legit course, I think the best I've really ever shot was like an 82.
Okay.
But that's just being real.
I
you
got
know?
people that would do anything
Yeah.
to shoot 82.
And now I can go, like right now I just shot an 86 at Fleming the other day on the whites. But I could take that and go to, in a week or two, I could shoot 110.
just a same golf course.
Yeah. So it just depends. So I added a 7-wood to my arsenal.
Did you now?
Yep.
People are loving that.
Buddy, what I'm probably, you'd be embarrassed on what I'm hitting that thing.
Really?
So yeah,
What is it?
Like, are you hitting it in situations where it's kind of like, I could hit a 3-wood or a 5-wood. I could also like lay back more, but I'm just gonna hit the 7-wood because I hit it so good.
No, so because I'm not hit, I can only if I get a hold of it, it might go 175.
Okay.
So I hit that club anywhere between 160 and 170.
But you're playing the whites.
Yes.
So you're in that yardage kind of a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you're hitting.
And this thing is grabbing the greens and staying.
I was going to say, so is it something you're hitting in into the greens a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. From 160 out. If not, so honestly, I'll swing it slow and hit it 150 if I need to. I feel comfortable.
You like that club that much,
Buddy, Jack's Beach. You ever played Jack's Beach?
For sure.
Okay. I just parred the back 9. We teamed up with some bad boys. I don't know. The front 9 kind of fell apart, got on the back 9, but I always play Jack's Beach course really well.
Okay.
I don't want the municipal.
The municipal?
What say it
a
again?
municipal?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a muni course. Yeah. I'm somewhat not the smartest person here. Okay, but so I told you before that. I was making fun of myself.
So funny.
A muni course.
Yeah.
So
it's an above average muni.
yes.
Though.
Oh, it's
So
great.
good.
Yeah, but I play that course so well, and like I said, I don't know. I shot like a 53 on the front and then parred the back. But we teamed up or got paired up with these other dudes, and I'm pulling out a 7 hybrid and like a 7-wood and all these crazy things.
Yeah, because you are the hybrid
Yes,
Nazi, right?
yes,
Yeah.
hybrid. I even have an 8 hybrid, but I'm off of the hybrids, man. I'm hitting my 7 iron like no one's business. My 8, my 9, my pitching. I've always been pretty good with my wedges around the green. But dude, this guy, we went to this par 3. I think it was like 134.
Yeah.
And he's up there. Everybody's up there with like a 60. These guys are hitting it good, like a 6-degree, 54, and like buddy's like a pitching wedge, and we're still new, so they weren't like wanting to really say anything, but they see this 7, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Dude, I put it within like 2 foot. And they're like, oh my God, what are you hitting? I just thought you were just pulled out a 3-wood or something.
Oh my God.
And I was like, it's a 7 hybrid. He's like, dude, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it was like they were so impressed.
Yeah.
I hit every green within a foot or 2. So there was another longer par 3. I used a 7-wood, and then there was even a longer one. I think it was like 180.
Yeah.
5-wood.
Okay.
Just woods and hybrids just tearing their asses up.
Do you find that it's difficult to decipher when to hit the 5-wood and the 7-wood and your longest iron and or your longest hybrid? You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest thing when I see people bring them in. They will have 3 clubs that pretty much go the same distance, and it's like, all right, we got to yank this one out, yank this one out.
If you go my 7-wood, 5-wood, and 3-wood, no, my 3-wood's going to go over 200 yards, probably like 200, 205, not super long. If I get a hold of it and don't play my natural fade or slice, whatever you call it,
cutter.
Yeah, if I hit it straight, I could hit it 215. But realistically, no, my 7-wood, 5-wood, and 3-wood, 180 shot, I'm pulling out the 5-wood.
Okay.
Even if it's 185, I'm still going to pull that out, roll it. Or if it's 178, that's where I'm messed up between the 7-wood and the 5-wood at that point.
But yeah, but you're getting picky then.
Yeah,
you're talking about
right.
a couple yards.
Yeah.
Now you're
No.
becoming a golfer,
right?
And like getting in your own head.
But what's sad?
Don't ever do that. By the way, just keep being happy about making bogeys, and you'll enjoy the game.
Done. Yeah, 100%. So, but anyway, before going on my tangent with all this, let's get to the real. Bryan.
Now we're to it.
Yeah.
Well, going back to like the opening statement of you being tall, do you feel like that helps a lot in golf, or do you feel?
I think it helps and hurts. I think it's as dumb as it sounds. In golf, there's the long game and there's the short game.
Yeah.
Tall guys, the long game I think it's a benefit. Short game, I'm that much farther away from the ball.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
And it's like all the guys that are really
but even
good
being
short game wizards, guess what? They're all short.
Yeah.
But even being like a fitter, like just doing different length clubs wouldn't
it
help.
Helps, but it's just about, to me, it's about like, okay, so if I'm storing something in a cabinet, okay, and I store it in a cabinet that is below, my center of gravity, well, I'm not going to enjoy that as much as a cabinet up top where I can reach for it, right?
Gotcha.
So same deal, like I'm going to gravitate towards everything long in my bag, driver, the long clubs, long irons, mid irons. I love all that. Then we get into the short clubs and some putters. Like I made my putter kind of long, but even though I still conventional and I don't do like any trick arm lock or I don't do like a broomstick or anything like that. But like, you put a 60-degree wedge in my hand, and it's like, man, I got to really bend over to get this thing. Dang, now I got to like use my muscles and my stability and my strength to stay down on the ball and things like that. So it's more effort for me on a short club versus a tall club where I get to kind of stand up a little bit taller, more upright, and just kind of be natural, right? Be in more of a natural position where like my wife will always take pictures. We'll go out and play and she'll whip out the camera when it's like I'm in the bunker. And I'm like, you just had to take a picture of me looking all squatty and like, am I like most uncomfortable where
After
I make
just
the golf
shanked
club
it into the bunker.
My golf club looks like, and I don't mind it. It's just it does look like I'm always in the sand, But even when I'm not, she's like, it's without fail. If I'm 75, 80 yards out or whatever, and I grab a lob wedge or something, it's like, oh, here's the shortest club in my bag next to me and a tall guy. Whereas, somebody that's the average height of a man in, America, whatever, 5'8", 5'9", they put that club in their hand and it looks normal. Looks comfortable. Just look at a short golfer and look at a tall golfer. Look how comfortable the short guy looks with a wedge in their hand. To me,
I agree 100%.
So I think, and I don't think tall necessarily makes a difference in the distance and all of that. Like, I've seen short guys hit it a mile, but tall guys can kind of naturally hit it a mile because it's just more leverage.
Yeah.
So it helps. I'd rather be what I am, a taller guy for multiple
I think about that all the
things.
time. I'll be at work or something. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm not short.
Yeah, like 6 foot 6'1" is a pretty perfect golfer build.
Yeah, and you're 6'4", right?
I am,
Yeah.
especially with shoes on.
And you're 6'2".
I think I'm like 6'1", maybe.
Yeah.
How you just got back from California, Pebble Beach?
No.
Oh, I saw something on Instagram about
We
that.
went to a place called Reunion,
Okay.
and it wasn't Pebble Beach.
What did you just play a tournament or something out there?
We played a 3-day, 4-round Ryder Cup style event at Reunion in Orlando.
Gotcha. Okay.
Man, I wish it was Pebble Beach.
Y'all gonna be mad.
How
Is this that first break? Is that what that is?
No, it's the goddamn White Claw.
White Claws.
So with that, what was your prep on that? Because I know that you said that you're balling a little bit more than golfing right now.
So I went to this tournament thinking, all right, I'm just going to go play golf, and then this is going to be great, a couple days, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm not going to, care about golf or anything like that. As far as right now, especially winter, it's basketball season as far as fandom and all of that.
But he keeps telling me winter's like
it's a good time around here, but that means the golf courses are busier. So I'm like,
Gotcha.
all right, well, that's what I don't like about going and playing golf is it's busy, it takes forever.
But how are the
Courses, the conditions and everything? Pretty good, actually.
Right now?
Some of them get really good because they get a little firmer.
Gotcha.
Just with it being colder, and everybody kind of likes firmer, faster, less friction on the greens, less, humid. So it's nice and it's soft in the summer. And then the winter it gets a little bit better. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
You might be upset that y'all are pretty far out.
No, it gets changed whenever you pull
So,
it back in. So you're good. Don't worry about that.
But I went to that tournament and I played, and it was like, I played better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Especially like my Sunday round when it's singles match and I'm keeping track of my own ball and I shot under par and I'm like, I didn't think I had that in me, but I think the competition, like the guy forced me to make a couple birdies and make a lot of par putts, So it's like I bogeyed the first hole and I bogeyed the second hole, first hole, last hole, which sucked because I tied my match and I could have won it against a guy who's way better at golf than me. But like I said, I played good. So with that being said, I thought I was going to come out of it like, no, I'm ready to go play some golf, right? And then I got back and I just hit balls. But part of it is I think I've got some new irons coming. Cobra's got some new irons coming.
Oh, there we go. That's my man.
And I think I'm gonna put those in the bag. So I'm kind of waiting to get those before. Is
that 3D printed iron?
No, they're the. It's an iron that's been out for the last year or so. The CB forged CB. They have like a CB MB combo set. I think I'm getting a set of the CBs, but they got like this new black finish, but it's not really black.
Right. Is it kind of like their...
it's so close to gray in pictures that I see that I'm just like... it's just like I would almost say that this finish is raw.
Is it kind of like the dark speed? Have you seen the dark speed iron that they make?
It's
the new one?
Kind of like that. Yeah. As far as the coloring.
Yeah. I knew because that's a blade, right? The CB is a blade.
CB's pretty much a blade.
Yeah. Because then they have the combo. They got pro combo or something like that.
They have the MB CB, so you can get full CB, you can get full MB, or you can split them. Yeah. You can do them.
Yeah, I'm definitely that guy. I'm hitting the old speed zones.
Yeah. The speed zone irons.
Yes.
Man, they're so good.
Yeah.
Those were really good. They really, with the speed zone, dark speed, Aerojet, F9, F8, that whole line, F7, they've really been really close to each other every year. Like there's little improvements and whatnot in the way they change it, the way they construct it. But at the same time, they're distance iron.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to miss hit them and still hit the ball good.
Yeah, and that's
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I struggle with those irons.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's like distance control and things like that, but
so I grew up on blades. What's crazy is my first set was my grandpa's first flights. Do you remember her first
flight?
I still have them.
Is that before Top Flight?
Before Top Flight.
There was first flight. I don't remember.
Yeah, these were probably.
I remember Spalding, Wilson, McGregor,
probably 70s.
Top Flight,
70s, late 70s.
Yeah,
first flights, but those were like the TaylorMade of the day.
Okay.
How long do you think TaylorMade's been out?
78.
Okay, yeah,
so
right around that time, yeah. So it was like the first flights, but McGregor,
their first metal wood,
right?
I think around then, and people played them in the 80s.
But
like I could be way wrong.
Yeah, me too. But the McGregors was pretty popular back then, right? Right.
Well, Jack Nicklaus
McGregors, yeah.
And they've got. I saw this company called My Golf Spy. Do you follow them?
Mm-hmm.
My Golf Spy they're a good follow. Especially for equipment people on Instagram.
Okay.
So My Golf Spy, mygolfspy.com. They do tons of testing and all that. Golf balls, their golf ball testing is pretty famous as far as across the industry. Like it actually Callaway made balls and they got tested, and My Golf Spy was like, yeah, these balls have issues. They have like off center, they're not consistent. Then Callaway just invested, I don't know, 40 million, 50 million, 400 million, I don't know, into their ball program. To make their balls better, and they did. So it's super influential. But they just posted a pic of some McGregor irons, like new ones.
They're coming out.
The back.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, one thing I was kind of curious about was when you were talking about the sound and listening to Tiger hit, how much that's one thing that I've noticed, because my dad used to play golf a good bit, and then he looked like a linebacker, so he was all about having a solid drive and all that. But that was whenever it sounded like you're hitting a damn like glass jar.
Yes.
And like now, and
now it's
a
carbon
solid
face
thwack.
Yeah, because
like I like that solid thwack. I like it sound like almost a crack off the face.
I got you. Yeah,
very muted.
That's one thing that I noticed is a lot different with those that stealth that I have compared to like my dad's old Big Bertha.
face.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. In the like mid to late 90s when the titanium drivers were out, I mean it was just like it was all just hollow titanium, right? And that's the sound they made.
Yeah, it was like it was because he had it was a Big Bertha 454.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
so that was even after all these ones I'm even thinking about.
Because I was hitting a sumo back then.
And those things sounded terrible.
Terrible.
Was it square? Did you have a square one?
No, pear shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a square
What did you
one.
play in college?
So I played. It was tough because my driver sucked, but I had a Ping SI3 driver, which was the first driver that they made. It had like a plastic hosel, and it wasn't adjustable like they are now. Obviously, this was 2003, fall of 2003, but it had like a plastic hosel, and it allowed for them to make like the first driver with a custom lie angle with their color code. So I had like a blue dot, Ping driver where like my irons were white dot, maroon dot, something like that. And then, most drivers, they were just whatever they were is what they were.
Yeah.
Now we can adjust them, upright, open, flat, whatever you want, close the face, do all these different things. But back then that one was pretty cool, but it was like so inconsistent. It had a graphite blue shaft in it, and this graphite blue shaft is one of the most famous shafts of all time. Henrik Stenson kept it in his 3-wood that he hit off the tee more than his driver because he had driver yips. Like he won the British Open, the Open, with this shaft that was 15 years old at the time.
Wow.
And it still is just like a legendary shaft, right? So I had that. I had Nike forged blade irons.
Okay, yeah.
Like the first ones. They were chrome with a swoosh.
Yeah.
I
Like
had
Tiger
those.
was using them, right?
Yeah, they made them with Tiger, for Tiger, something like that. I don't remember. Maybe an Odyssey White Hot putter or something like that. Scotty Cameron probably. I don't know because I broke my favorite putter I ever had. Yeah. And instead of fixing it, paying $30 at the time probably to fix it and get it reshafted, I just sold it on eBay. I was like, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Wow. So did you do that during a tournament?
I did. I did.
We got to hear this story.
So what I ended up doing, this was a very important tournament for me because it was my conference tournament in high school. I struggled every year. Like my sophomore year and my junior year, I struggled.
Where was this?
This is up in Indiana.
Okay.
My home course, which was Deer Creek Golf Club.
Still there?
Still there. Getting ready to actually change. They're turning it into a completely new facility and course and upgrading it a ton. But the original Deer Creek, I think, if I were to go to Indy next summer and play it, would be the last time I'd ever play it, which I'd like to do for nostalgia.
Yeah, for
reasons,
sure.
Right? Like a little going away shindig. Yeah. But so I played this golf course. I worked at this golf course for like 3-4 years in high school. I knew it back of my hand, but I'd get to that tournament and I'd just have like brain farts for every 2 or 3 holes I'd have a brain fart. And it's because playing under pressure. You're just not used to playing under pressure. My school was a little podunk school, and we only played our 9-hole matches. Our conference tournament was 18. Our Hendricks County, which is a really good county actually for golf, the county tournament was 9 holes one day, 9 holes the next day. So it felt like a 9-hole match, right? Then our sectional tournament was 18 holes. But like Fleming Island, who won state this past year, they might play like 5, 6, 7, 18-hole invitationals or tournaments on top of their 9-hole matches. Right. And all these kids on the team, very different times, but all these kids are playing 18-hole tournaments all the time. Yeah. So prepared. So I'd get to this tournament, crap my pants pretty much, I guess, throughout the round. And then my senior year, I finally am like, it's the worst conditions ever. It's like 40, 50 degrees in May or April, May, and it's raining. And I'm shooting something like 39 on the front 9. It was just kind of par for the course on those conditions that day. But then I just kind of caught some fire on the back 9. But after I got really mad, after I hit this hero shot out of the trees on 14, sliced it 10 feet from the hole, I was like, this is it. I'm going to make this putt, and I'm going to win this golf tournament. And for whatever reason, I thought I had to make that putt to win the golf tournament, even though I had 15, 16, 17, and 18 left, which 2 par 5s, like I didn't have to make birdie. But I was assuming Cloverdale at the time had like 5 guys on their team that could shoot par better at any given time. And that's who I thought I had to beat. So I was like, well, those guys are out there playing great. Turns out it didn't matter. Everybody played like crap that day. Only 2 of us shot under 80, I think. So normally we're all shooting around par. At least 10 to 15 guys in the field are. And then, only 2 people broke 80. So that gives you an idea of how tough it was. Right. So I missed the putt. I break it over my knee. Sadly, it's gone. Can't use it at that point. But luckily, I practiced all the time. I'd chip, and then I would putt with my lob wedge. Like I'd blade it. They call it belly it. Mm-hmm. So like if a lob wedge is like this, right? You hit it with this part of the club. Yeah. You don't like try and hit down on it and get it in the air. You just kind of roll it. And I was pretty good at it. And so I like bogeyed 15 out of, I think, shock and frustration, because I just kind of was like, oh, what am I going to do now, right? I got to hit the best shots of my life just to be able to get to the green. And then I got to make 3-footers with a wedge. Yeah. I got to do all this stuff. But then on the next hole, I make like a 15-footer for par. And the next hole, I hit the greatest 3-wood of my entire life at the time. Had 40 feet for eagle. Rolled it in.
Oh, my God.
Ended up winning the tournament by 1.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up actually, if you think about it, I parred that hole that I broke my putter on, that I thought I had to birdie. I went bogey, par, eagle, bogey. So I was even par on the final 4 holes to win by 1.
Wow.
So I didn't need to make that putt.
No.
But if you really think about it,
what would you?
It would have been nice.
So at that point, do you feel like
it's over?
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think like maybe you wouldn't have made those eagle putts if you didn't break your putter.
No, I don't think I would have.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I would have. I would argue I probably
play it different.
I probably would have bogeyed 18.
Yeah.
Because I hit it in the sand, and the reason I hit it in the sand is because left was dead. Mm-hmm. So I bailed out to the right. There's a whole ocean to the left of like sand and hill, and then there was like a farm on the right of grass.
Yeah,
2 bunkers. Hit it in the bunker. Again, it was really windy, so it's not like you could just have much control over your ball. But I hit it at those bunkers, because a lot of times what you can do is you can hit it into the grass in that area, and you can make the easiest chip that I've done 500 times at that point in my life, and have like a cozy little par. But I got it in the bunker, and our bunkers were kitty litter. Yeah, it was tough. So to like hit it to 8 or 9, 10 feet, something like that, was a good shot. I missed that putt, made the bogey. Again, it didn't end up mattering. But I would have bogeyed that hole. I don't know if I would have made bogey on 15 if I had a putter. I don't know if I would have made par on 16 if I had a putter. And I don't know if I would have made that eagle. So it's like things, maybe I would have still shot even on those 4 holes, but the eagle sure helped.
So you won the tournament.
Yeah, I won the conference tournament. Again, it was my Masters at the time.
Wow.
So
awesome.
I won that. Like for me to be, I was all county, which means you finish in the top 10 against way better schools, bigger schools, better golfers. Mm-hmm. Made county, all county my sophomore, junior, and senior year. Didn't make all conference, which is the same thing, top 10. Didn't medal in my sophomore or junior year. And I was like terrible. I'd shoot 100 or more in my freshman year, so you don't count that. Right. But it was a developmental year. My sophomore, junior year, nothing. I missed all county or all conference, and then ended up winning it, thankfully.
Wow.
And it was a cool thing to have happen. Yeah. But I really wish I didn't do that.
When you did do that, was like did you have like coaches around or your parents or anything that were like, what the hell were you thinking?
My uncle, who is at every tournament of mine. So my Uncle Tony was there, and he was like looking at my buddy Derek, who formerly played on our team. He graduated. He was there, and Derek had these sandals. They were like slides, like normal Nike slides, but he had them like duct taped together because they were falling apart. And my uncle like told me, he's like, dude, I was like looking at Derek's sandals, like, how can we take this duct tape off and like fix your putter? And I was like, the rules don't work like that.
Yeah.
Once it's broken, if it's broken out of a fit of rage, you can't replace it. If it's course of play, you know, you hit it on tree root, you can replace it, something like that. But man, he wasn't mad, but he had video of me making the eagle putt. It's the only time he whipped out his camera that whole day. Yeah. And it was a little camera because they didn't have iPhones in 2003 to just take video like that.
How have you seen the from like when you played then, and even like in high school? You played in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was high school then,
that was high
right?
school.
Right.
Okay,
And then
so
you go to
Year of
college.
Yeah.
So then,
Really
like
semester.
with the high school kids now, how do you? Are they getting fitted like way earlier?
Yeah.
Is it more?
Especially here.
Yeah.
I got you.
We in Florida, we are a different monster.
Yeah.
For golf.
I agree.
I'm sure Southern California especially, Texas probably got some really good ones. I'm sure there's some really good programs up in like the Northeast,
even with
New York, all that money. There's so many good clubs up there.
with your online sales and stuff like that. Where's still your biggest customer base? Florida.
Well, it's definitely Florida, because we have a hub. But if you took out the local, meaning just people that are driving get fit, like at our shop, we get a lot of Midwest.
Really?
A lot of Midwest and a lot of West. Send stuff to California, Washington, Oregon all the time.
Nice.
Some Arizona, decent amount of Texas, but the bulk of it's probably New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, all the time. Yeah, all the time. So online-wise, it's probably like take out Florida, it's probably the Midwest to the Northeast, somewhere in there. I don't know. It's more population in obviously some of those states. So,
did you end up going over to, was it Furlick and Friends?
Furyk.
What did you call it? Because that's
Furlick.
That is another tournament.
Is it?
No. Huh. But if it was, I'd want to go to Furlick. Furlick and Friends. Furyk and Friends is awesome. I didn't go this year.
The weather looked kind of rough.
Been every year.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take off Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday. Sunday might have been the day the Colts and the Jags played.
I think so.
I
Which
don't know.
Daly was down. Daly was down. He was at the Kangaroo getting his good boy vodka, giving it to free people and stuff.
Did he do an event?
Yeah,
like an appearance.
Yeah, at the Kangaroo, and then he gave his putter away on Saturday on the second or third hole.
Okay,
and then used his wedge to putt the rest of the time.
So he did that.
He doesn't care. Yeah. He didn't.
It don't matter.
Yeah, he don't care about nothing.
That'd be a lot harder to do at Timuquana.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a tough golf course.
Yeah.
The greens are tough.
But
that tournament, have you gone?
Yes, yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 100%. I tried to get him to go. He went to
Furlick.
Yeah, he went to Furlick. He won't go.
I showed up and I was like, "Where the hell is everybody at?"
Where's everybody at?
Yeah, I had 7 tickets for every day. My dad works there.
Okay.
So,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I got some buddies that are members there. But like I said, yeah. And then now after high school, you went to college to play golf.
I played 1 year and 1 semester, and I hated it.
Yes, sir.
I went to, so I could have done this thing where
it's like D1.
It was, what's that?
It's like a D1 school.
It's like a junior college, NJCAA.
Yeah.
And it's
so is that like St. John's down the road?
Yeah, I think so. Like if FSCJ had a golf team,
gotcha.
Which I think they might at some point. That's exactly what it'd be. I don't know where they compete or whatnot, but so I was a late bloomer with golf. Like the top kid in our area, he just committed to Vanderbilt, and he's a junior.
Wow!
Like that's when you've got to have a good sophomore junior outing to really go to that.
Yeah.
Because a school like UF, like Florida, they're not signing a senior. They already know like who they're picking up. They can't wait that long. Yeah. You know what I mean? They already know who's.
Do they have like a walk-on program or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm sure they have like some kind of open tryout. Yeah. They have to because they only have so many scholarships to give out, and I think now they've got more. But it used to be they'd have like 5 scholarships. I think now they've got 8, something like that. because that's a new rule that just changed. Don't quote me on it, but I saw something on that. But like I was a late bloomer. I didn't become like an under par shooter until my senior year. And then at that point, I mean, I was a C student in school. I just didn't think I was even going to go to college like that. I thought I was just going to go to a community college or whatever, just out of the gate, go there for a couple years, get an associate's degree, and then go to a big school or whatever and finish, or just be done with it. I didn't love school, like the school part of it, right? I was always that stubborn kid, like, when am I going to use this?
Yep.
I'm not. I know I'm not. Yep. I know I'm not, so I don't.
Yeah.
I understand why we do it. All right. But at the same time, I was recruited by Anderson University, which is a Christian college, NCAA, but Division III. Well, they're not giving out athletic scholarships in Division III. But I went on the visit and was like, this place is awesome. The facilities were awesome. The campus was great. I had one of my best friends went there. The guy I was actually talking about, Derek, the
duct tape feet.
The duct tape flip flops. Yep. He was there. He played basketball actually at Anderson, and it would have been like a really cool place for me to have gone. And I would have gone there, and I would have been kind of similarly to my senior year in high school, like the guy on the team.
Right.
Like, all right, Brian's our best player. So you have a little bit of that confidence, right? Well, I got offered a scholarship kind of last minute when I say last minute, it was like a week or two after my sectional tournament, my last tournament in high school. And I got offered a full ride to this junior college an hour and a half away from where I lived. It was in Illinois. I went on a visit and all that in the summer to just kind of like go and be a part of what they were doing, their outing and all that. And it was like, God, this is not it. I know it's not it, but it's free. Mm-hmm. And like, not to get personal, but like my mom and stepdad were going through a divorce and all that. So like there was a lot of like life-changing things. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go do this. Thinking, all right, I'm going to go play college golf. Had a couple guys on the team, that I became really good friends with at the time. Like, we all disconnect, but loved it. Loved that part of it. Love those guys, but it was so different. And I went there and I was just one of 6-7 guys that were really good. And I think that affected me more than maybe some other guys because I wasn't used to it. That wasn't normal for me. And so I'd be like our 4, 5, 6 guy. Mm-hmm. And like a good day would be shooting 73 or 74 when a good day used to be shooting 68, 69, 70, something like that. A bad day, you shoot. It's like no matter what I did at the end of the day, I signed for a 78 or 79. And it's like, this is terrible. And then when it gets real bad, you shoot 82, 83, and you're playing competitive golf. Like these are a lot of people like me who maybe didn't put in the work in the classroom, but they're good.
Yeah.
Or they're from, because Illinois, Missouri, all these states, they have a ton of, I think Tennessee maybe even. I don't know. They got a lot of junior colleges that are like good competitive athletic that have good athletic programs. So I went to that thinking that's what I was going to do. Go to something special like that. I'm playing against guys that are freaking awesome. They should be at a D1 school, but they're just not there yet. And then maybe they graduated or went there 2 years at their junior college, and then they did transfer, and they played in those big schools. But it was just like, I wasn't ready for that. So I got out of there quick. Like I just went back home and started life, got into learning what I wanted to do or figuring out what I wanted to do.
Right. Well, I know you're pressed for time. What's your time looking like right now?
5:03. Give me 20 minutes.
Okay, sweet.
I'll give you 20 minutes.
With going at that point, knowing that junior college wasn't your thing, you quit golf. What did you go and do?
What did I go and do, and how did I get all the way back to golf?
Golf.
That's what's crazy about it, right?
Yep.
I'll always remember this thing in a newspaper article, and it might have been about the conference tournament, actually. I just remember my golf coach at the time, he said, something in an article like, blah, 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 Brian this, Brian that. He'll probably be known from his class, like to his classmates moving forward as like the golfer. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, Brian, he's the golfer, right? And I went cold turkey, man. I stopped playing golf.
Really?
I did. After that, I went worked at a car dealership so I could go to school, and I was working a car dealership. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you're working like 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Like, you don't have time for school with this job. I'm like, okay, so let's figure something else out. Went to the community college in Indiana. It's called Ivy Tech. Went there. I was like, all right, this is tough. I'm going downtown all the time. Like, I'm still living 20, 30 minutes away, whatever it was. It's like, screw this, quit that. And then I got a job bartending. Well, serving with the idea that I would be turning 21 really soon, and then bartending at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Before Buffalo Wild Wings was super corporate.
Right.
Like, I always preface it with like, dude, my B-dubs was cool. And playing for the Indiana, it was cool. Being behind the bar was a lot of fun. But what it did is it allowed me kind of to go, all right, I had different jobs that I did. I tried to like do construction with my family for, like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. Didn't like that, but did the car thing and then did the bartending. And it allowed me to like figure out that I wanted to be actually like on the radio. Okay. Like I wanted to be a radio host.
But were you always a social butterfly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
always.
Yeah.
So, but like what happened was I wanted to be Mr. Top 40 radio DJ when I was, working in and around cars all day and had the radio on, listening, going, man, I could do this. Driving, listening to morning show radio, for the first time, like going to work when I was working construction. It's like, man, I could do this job. And so that's what I wanted to do. And so when I was bartending, I said, well, I'm just going to save up some money, and that's what we're going to do. I was living with my grandma and grandpa, lived with my mom a little bit, and then with my grandma and grandpa, it's just, I was coming home at 3, 4 in the morning, from the bar working. And so it's like, all right, it was easier actually because my grandma was an insomniac. It was easier to go live with her because she'd be awake when I get home.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'd be like super like disturbing my mom,
and grandma's in there like, can I make you a sandwich?
And she was in. But she helped me out a lot, like kind of saving money and all that. And then I ended up, while being at the sports bar, being across the bar, watching the Indianapolis Colts in their heyday of Peyton Manning and winning a Super Bowl. It's like, I want to be Mike and Mike. I want to be Mike Greenberg. I want to be talking on sports radio is what I wanted to be doing. And at the time, you were seeing Jim Rome.
I was saying, like I remember
Colin
like
Cowherd,
the Jim Rome.
You were seeing Mike and Mike, and they were literally on TV, but they were in the radio studio.
The
and I was
voice.
like, that's what I want to do. And you pretty much, if you think about it, if you're the bartender, you're serving people, but when it's slow and you're having these conversations, you are first take. You are cold pizza is what it was called back in 05, 06, Skip Bayless and Woody Page and these guys. That's what you are. So I was like, man, this is great. All we do is talk sports. And I just started playing fantasy football and all that at the same time. It's like sports. Well, then I get out to broadcasting school in LA after saving some money and going out there and thinking, I'm just gonna go live in Los Angeles and go to this school and do all this. I get out there and I'm like,
what year is this?
07.
Okay.
So I want to be a radio DJ again. I want to be like the DJ. I want to be the cool guy because I'm out in LA and like Hollywood thinking, well, I want to be like in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, I did the school, did the program, got through it, sent some emails back home, got a lead on an internship with the radio station that I was like listening to. That made me want to, I was like, all right, 5 months in, I think just under 5 months of school out there, being done with it and living out there, I was like, yep, back home, like I'm done with the program. I got everything I needed, got the skills that they taught me. And then I got an internship with that radio station and I did that career for 12 years. Yeah. So I did
You stayed right there in Indiana?
No. I got to Jacksonville in 2010. So from 2007, LA to 2008, I was on ZPL as an intern in Indy. Then I was on Radio Now as like a part-time employee, and like I co-hosted the night show, which was at the time like a volunteer position. I just went in there and did it and made myself like the second chair.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of person that I was, right? I was like, what do you need me to do? I don't need to talk, but I want to be here because I want to learn.
Right.
And then I connected with one of the guys that hosted the night show, and he said, I want a sidekick, so let's make a show. So we did that. And then in 2009, I got my like first full-time job. Like it's my night show now, but it was in like Podunk, Evansville, Indiana, which is actually a low-key, cool little city to me. Yeah. It's just at the time when you're 23, 4 or 5, you're like, this isn't cool because it's a small market and I want to be in the big market. Yeah. But then I went to a bigger market a year later. So I'm in Fort Wayne in 2009, 2010. And then I got the job in Jacksonville on Kiss FM here. And
cool.
Kiss FM here is, if you think about it, like there's Kiss FMs everywhere, but like the Kiss FM is 102.7 Kiss FM out in LA. Yeah. And I'm like, that's where I want to live. That's where I want to be one day, right? So, I did Jacksonville for like 3 years. Got a job in Detroit at a big station. So I'm making like waves.
Are you married at this time or
no? Okay, no, not yet. You couldn't do this job married, and I'll get to that, right? So I'm in Detroit. Was okay with Detroit. It was very much like indie, a bigger indie, but a major market radio station. Destroyed everybody in the ratings. It was like the number 1 station, 18 to 34. So I'm like making good money, making ratings bonuses, and then I just like the guy I was working for just took the passion out of it for me. And so I'm like, all right, back to Jacksonville. Slept on a friend's couch, met my wife, got a job being the digital program director back at iHeartRadio, so Kiss FM again, all the stations. So I was just trying to manage content and run the websites and get as many hits on the websites as possible. Then my buddy that was doing afternoons on Kiss FM left, went to Orlando, so I got that job back. So it's like here I am, just right back where I was, but I took a little detour. Yeah. That's when my mentor from Fort Wayne, Indiana calls me and is like, hey, I'm now the VP of this company and we're based out of Portland, Oregon. Come run this station with me and be the morning show. And I'm like, I've always wanted to do a morning show. Yeah. Did that year. My wife and son, we got married real quick. My wife and son were here. He's my stepson. I'm dad, but he's still my stepson. So there's like a whole process to like get to be able to relocate.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
After a year of that, it's like job in Miami just came available. Miami's great. I think we can move to Miami, and if we don't move to Miami,
you can drive back and forth.
Figure a way to make that work, right? Long story short, moved to Miami, win our court case, get relocated to Miami, and lived there for 3 years. And while I was there is where I found golf again. So
that is nuts.
It's like, and like I was in golf at that point. I was like 110%. You can talk to me about everything in the world, but like I want to talk about golf. Wow. I was at work. I'd have guys coming in that worked at the station talking to me about golf, watching the golf tournament. I'd be in the middle of doing my show and they're wanting to talk to me about golf. And I'm like, I really want to talk about golf, but I also really so unfocused right now talking about golf when I'm supposed to be talking about whatever country song and artist and this is coming to town.
So at this point, this was what, 2013?
Close. 15, 16. 15 was Portland. 16, 17, and 18 were the Miami days.
Okay.
Well, we lived in Lauderdale, but the
Fort
station
Lauderdale,
was
Miami. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 questions in. What was your radio name?
Brian.
Oh, you didn't have like
I did have some stupid ones. The first one was Sexual Brian. When I was it was Austin and Sexual Brian. That was the night show. And then my program director, love him dearly. He's super successful and does very well in as far as radio goes. Yeah. He's had a great career. He's actually out in Portland all of a sudden, which is of all places. He went where I was. He's like, you can be Hightower because I'm tall, or you can be Sexual Andy. I was like, well, can I just be Sexual Brian? Like, I don't want to be Hightower. I'll be Sexual Brian, but I don't want to be Andy, right? Like, let's just use my name. And then I went to Evansville. They didn't want me to be Brian. I said, okay, so I got to come up with some stupid name. I was like, Tiki Barber. I love Tiki Barber, and I love the Tiki idea.
Yeah.
Like, let's be Tiki Brian. So I was Tiki Brian. And I'd be in golf tournaments, and I would sign up as Tiki Brian.
Hell yeah.
Like, I just would, because I was trying to, because I did play golf in Evansville. Yeah. They do golf in Evansville. Then in Fort Wayne, is like, we need a cool name. Got to be a name. It's like, can I be Brian? They're like, no. So they all voted on one. One was the Chinaman, which was never going to happen. I was like, guys, you're making a joke out of my career, but I don't want to make a joke out of my career, because eventually one day I wanted to be taken seriously, but ended up going with Busboy Brian. So I was the busboy, whatever. I guess I cleaned your tables. That's what I was. But Busboy Brian. So anyway, when I came to Jacksonville, my program director was like, dude, I like Bryan. Just be Bryan.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
right.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
Been Bryan ever since.
What is a day at programming school look like? Are they like just teaching you like red leather, yellow leather, red leather? You're just doing
very quick. Like if you've ever done like a trade school, it's obviously very specific to what you're trying to become.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's kind of techie though, right? Because I did
techie.
So I did some radio back in the day with fishing. So Vic Tyson had it was AM 600, WJK. I don't know. Anyway, the tower was.
Do you look down on AM people when you're on FM?
I would love to be like, now that I'm getting a little bit more into politics. Not saying I would be good on the radio. Yeah. It's more or less, and most big AMs also have a simulcast on an FM. You know, at this point.
But there's no few.
You ever heard of Brian Kilmore?
Kilmore?
Yeah, Brian. That's his name?
Brian Kilmeade.
Kilmeade.
Yeah,
sorry.
Kilmeade. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Look at that. He's knocking me for Kilmeade or Kilmore, whatever, and he's knocking you for Furnick.
I just thought Furlick. I mean, that's just funny. It's like a cat. You know, like Furlicker. Like that's something that I feel like Macaulay Culkin would have called his brother in Home Alone or something.
The Brian guy.
Brian Kilmeade. Yeah. So like I look at that and
Y'all could be the three Bryans.
I go, no. Yeah, right. There we go. We need a show, man. B square, what would be B cubed? Third power?
Yeah. Ask Brian to say the M word.
Yeah.
Muni.
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 Man. So
I said N-word.
But I look at it and go, no, I would love to do that. I'd love to be on a sports station, whether it's AM or something like that. At this point, sports, politics, I wish, but the industry's changed so much, and I think that ship sailed.
Yeah. Well, I think the podcast thing, with you being BryanGolf and the voice, I know he did.
I don't want to talk about golf though.
Yeah, but you can talk about anything.
I would love to.
If
my wife would do it with me, I would do it.
It couldn't be Golf Brian. It'd just be Bryan.
Yeah,
it'd be Bryan.
That's it.
If I can just come up with a cool, trendy name, I'll figure it out. I still got you got good equipment. I got some really awesome equipment for podcasting.
Yeah.
Like I'm set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
If we get this new building that we're talking about, I'm going to have we're going to have like a nice little 10x10 office that they already just build out automatically. Don't know if that's going to become the build shop or if we're going to make a bigger build shop. But if anything,
definitely
it's going to be like a podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like radio is going down.
And it is. I hate saying it. I got so many friends, allies that are in that industry. They make good livings, and they need radio to be successful for them to continue doing what they love. But like a buddy of mine is running a radio station, and it's like him. Yeah. He's the only one doing everything. That used to be 7 people's jobs.
Yeah, we grew up listening to Lex and Terry in the day, and
you can't go to a radio station today and be like, "Hey, let me start your morning show. Here's my crew. It's the 6 of us." And they're like, "Yeah, good luck. Yeah. We'll pay one of you, and we're gonna pay you half of what you used to make."
But even at that point, like, why would you even want to go that route if you could just do obviously you're a marketing guru guy, with the name.
I'm super rusty. Yeah, I'm super rusty.
Just having that side of it, social media is so much bigger. You would just be able to be so much bigger than going to a radio station with your 6 buddies.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is
just the commitment. And I know that we've talked in past that your commitment these days is your kids, basketball, your kid,
my wife,
right,
business. Like we just need the business to rock. Now that's where I will argue I need to do a YouTube channel for golf,
right,
and let that be because that'll help our business a bunch. The podcast, I don't want to escape to my everyday.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So before you got the storefront, was you just doing this out of on social media, or did you go straight into
I was just posting golf content?
Yeah.
That was it. And then it got to a point where my wife and I both posted golf content. We got a following, and then people would start coming to me for golf club advice and ideas. And then I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm getting into the fitting industry. I was like moonlighting with a company in Palm Beach at PJ National. And that's how I gained some knowledge of skill. I didn't gain much skill, but I gained knowledge of the skills that I needed and was able to turn that into something. So I went and worked for another company for a little over a year and a half, lost the job because of COVID, and then parlayed that into our own business.
And after
my wife
COVID,
and
was
I.
you kicking before COVID?
Kicking meaning like doing well?
No.
Or
you had a storefront during COVID?
No.
No.
We started probably like took over our space July 1st of 2020.
Yep.
So mid-COVID.
Yep.
And then opened 6 to 8 weeks later.
Were they cutting good deals on shopping centers during COVID?
No, man. It's crazy. Now our rent's gone up.
Yeah.
You know,
What
but that's because everything's gone up.
Is your wife in the industry too, the golf industry?
Just as a, owner
Bookkeeper,
of Bryan
yeah,
Golf.
yeah.
I gotcha.
And she runs Steez and Tees, which is if you might have seen like that,
Yep.
that's tons of liquidated clothing that we
Yeah.
get. Kind of don't really tell our secrets on how we get it, but
Yeah.
we get it and flip it.
Yeah.
So she does.
That's cool.
She manages that, and that's tough. And that's like getting into like relationship stuff when we own Bryan Golf, and that's our livelihood. And then she's got the side hustle of Steez and Tees, which is really a 9 to 5 kind of salaried position. Like she makes an income off of that, right?
Yeah.
People don't understand sometimes. Like when I go and say like, man, I don't want to do a podcast on golf. It's actually because some of my conversations in my household, with my wife, what should they be about? It should be about like, date nights and money and money for sure, how to raise your kids,
anything non-work
intimacy,
related.
whatever it might be. We're talking about golf, and we're talking about like golf business, and it's not good stuff.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, maybe yesterday, we got a DM about a question, and then her and I kind of like butted heads over our answer to this DM, because she, if you DM Bryan Golf, you're getting the both of us, right? If you DM my old Instagram, Bryan Radio, you're just getting me. So yes, I have like a personal Instagram, but it's like, how many husbands and wives have to have some sort of disagreement over how to respond to somebody in a DM on your Instagram page? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a hoochie mama. Like, why is this girl, DMing you?
Yeah.
It's like, it's Bryan hit me up going, hey man, I want to buy this 7-wood or whatever it is with this shaft. What do you think? And whatever it may be. So it's like those are the reasons why. And I think that if
What's her take on hybrids?
well, her irons are hybrid. She's got hybrid irons. She got the Cobra T-Rail hybrid irons.
So I got the Cobra.
We'll sell them.
Air
Max, right?
Air Max.
Is that what they are?
I got a 7 hybrid.
Air,
I got
F Max.
Air F.
They have the Air.
Yeah, it's an Air.
I'm rusty on that. We don't do a lot of those.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because it's really like a don't get fit for it, buy it as it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what it is. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, no. So we don't. Like, I look at some of my peers that really get to dive in on golf. I go, yeah, but how excited would you be to do that if your home life was also consumed by that?
Yeah, no.
And I don't think my friends in the industry, like when we talk, I don't think they understand that part of about like me and our business and why it's so tough.
Yeah.
But we love being that 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like we're looking at this new building. Hopefully, we can expand Bryan Golf a little bit.
Yeah, I
and
feel
turn
like
it into something a little bit more than what it is now.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think we're tapped out. We're just making a living. I'm going to say we're making a decent living.
Yeah.
Maybe here after November, we can make a better living
Yes,
somehow.
yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I something to where we've got to do something to grow it, because there is room to grow.
Yeah.
And
Well, no, just overhead in general. I mean, you know how, especially in a business.
Yeah.
Just taking the overhead down.
Well, I know you
Helps a
are
good
the best
bit.
fitter around.
I think thankfully there's not many.
Right.
But there are some really good popular companies, and I do get thrown into the mix of let's go see this guy instead. Go see
100%.
Bryan.
Nice.
No,
So I'm like,
Unless your last name's Powell, or whatever that guy's name was.
No,
Pal.
Pal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan,
no.
I'll fix it.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
fix
no,
it. Apparently
Ryan's good.
Ryan's grips got messed up.
Yeah, but
We'll figure him out.
Yeah, we'll figure him out.
And normally I just blame the player.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
The guy's coming to me with broken clubs,
Yeah.
broken down by the hosel, and I'm like, I know you think that you pured it, but somewhere in there was a time where you hit the ground. You were doing some driver off the decks or whatever. You chunked one, and it ruined that shaft. And you just hit the purest drive, and that shaft just so happened to give out because it was kind of, compromised at some point. Golfers are crazy like that.
That's hilarious. I think that's any sport, though.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's just like when you hold the fish up closer to the camera.
Oh yeah. No, I don't do that. I always have that thing right here. When I catch a nice 3 or 4 pounder, which isn't often, we'll get some.
Hell, I'll catch a brim. And
We'll
I'll be
get
like,
some next spring. No, I don't even bring in a brim. I get so mad. I don't even take a picture of that one.
dude, I take
I don't
pictures of them
wanna
all.
see it. No, I don't wanna
I'm
see it.
happy, dude. I'm whenever I get a bogey and whenever I catch a brim, dude.
No.
Same height level.
Same
Yeah.
high. Yeah, same high. I will take a picture of the tiniest fish because it's funny.
Yes.
If it's like a tiny
Yep,
bass.
yep.
Or
Not
the
me,
good
dude.
ones.
I'm like, dude, I'll have like 50 pictures of 50 brim I caught.
They all look the same.
Hell, it's probably the same fish. It's retarded. It keeps coming back.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Well,
cool,
like,
man.
yeah, like I
Thank
said, I know
you
gotta
so much.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in, man. I love what you're doing. I'm hoping for the expansion and all that works
It'd
out.
be great, especially
Yeah.
if we're right here.
Sounds
right
like
by
we'll be
you guys.
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I told the card store down there, luckiest man. I said, "Hey, man," because he was like, he brought in an NBA Jam arcade, which we have one at home. You buy the arcade
Yeah.
one up. It's in my kid's room, and
Yeah.
I used to play. It used to be in our shop.
Yeah.
It might get put back in our shop, but I played it all the time when we first opened because I'd be waiting. We'd be dead at like 4 o'clock.
Right.
I'd just be playing NBA Jam, but he put one in. And he's like, "Now you got to come see me." I'm
Yeah.
like, I think next year I
You
might
got-
be your neighbor, man."
Yeah.
You got the ceilings for a basketball hoop in the new space, right?
I think so. I've done my research.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was the first thing I
Yeah.
searched. 16 foot is our ceiling.
Okay.
I think that's in the peak, obviously, and that's what you kind of need if you think about it. 10-foot goal. I know 6 feet doesn't seem like a lot of space above, but if you were over there and you shot a hoop or shot at the hoop, we would see the apex is only a few feet over the rim.
Yeah,
really,
Right.
I think we can do it, right?
Yeah.
So, I was saying do it like a full-size pop-a shot.
Yeah.
Put a bay here and a bay here, but in between them is a goal, and you're
Yeah.
just shooting
Hell
free
yeah.
throws. And my wife was like, "No, we put it on the other side, and we have space to run around and actually play." I'm like, "All right, I didn't know that."
yeah,
we
I'm not
were-
arguing with you on
Yeah, I'm
that
not gonna
one.
argue with that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that
That's
sounds like
exactly
a better
what I'd
idea.
like. But
Yeah.
more or less, like, how do we just turn into like Rob Dyrdek's mini fantasy factory? So it's like,
I'm slowly on. That's what my end goal is as well.
that's what it should be. I think that's what every man's end goal should be. How can you take your business and also have some fun out of it
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yep.
Especially because at that point you're gonna really enjoy being there.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about in my shop. I got golf.
Yep.
That's it. So when I'm bored, I'm like nothing's going on. I've built all the golf clubs, or I don't have space to build more. I'll hit golf balls.
Yeah, golf
You know
balls.
what I mean? But if I got a basketball hoop,
Yeah.
think of how many free throws I'm going to get up.
Yeah.
How many jumpers I'm going to get up in a day.
And then,
Then
you're
gonna get recruited to the next best.
level. Yeah.
That dude that's dunking on people,
Yeah.
you're gonna be on his team.
No,
Yeah.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I like my.
Here, we'll end
I
it
like
on
my
this.
squad.
What do you think that guy, after he dunked on your boy a couple times, what do you think he said to his friends? He was probably hyped, right?
Yeah, I don't know, because I think he does it so often.
Yeah.
I think it was, unfortunately, it was like how you were pumped about a bogey. Like if I made a bogey, I'd be like, dang, if I make a par, I'm like, ho hum. That was probably a par for him.
Yeah.
This is just okay,
Normal. Yeah.
on to the next hole. That was, maybe I could have flushed it a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
Something along those lines. But these
Could have dunked a little bit better on that dude.
Those 2 dunks were so good.
Yeah.
They were so good. And they were.
Do you
like,
get the
his-
ooh?
he-
like,
Yeah, even
Yeah.
all of us were like,
Oh,
yeah. Because our buddy got teabagged.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By this just guy that could
this is
jump
my
out of the gym.
house.
Yeah.
My
But that's
house.
my
Yeah.
so we're we got what 4, 5, 6 months, right? Until April.
Yes, sir.
My goal, I turned 40, my goal is to be able to flush one.
Heck yeah.
Try and dunk.
Don't.
one.
Bent
So-
the knees over toes guy. That's
I
think
I do a lot of knees over
Yeah.
toes type stuff along with like normal stuff, but I think I'm gonna do a little bit more like plyometric stuff, and also
What about the stretch shoes?
He just looks
You
like
remember
a
the
he just
stretch-
like a
remember
good
those,
Yeah.
with the ones on the
with the
toes,
heel.
they put 'em
Yeah,
on the toes.
Yeah.
he
Forget
just
what
like
they
a good
were called.
average white dude that's dunking though. Like,
Yeah,
he's looking.
he I know he talks about like injury, like I have ankle issues. Like if I was to I always do this thing where I was like if I was to bend both my legs forward, if I was up and I like did a squat or something, but bend my legs forward, my left would stop and my right would keep going because of my ankle mobility in the front. But so that like kind of inhibits me a little bit because you think of like that's where you get a little bit of spring. I'm only getting like 1.5, times the spring when I could be using both of them. But for the most part, I think that I need like 4 more inches of vert and like 6 more inches to just be able to just dunk.
Yeah.
But 4 more inches to just flush one. Because I'll like jump up sometimes and I'll get some rim and the ball will go in, but it wasn't flushed.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough for me. But I think a little bit of plyometrics, but just more jumping.
Yeah.
Like just because
you like weighted jumps? Does that help?
It's got to help.
Yeah.
Overload, underload training, right? Like with golf, they do super speed golf, where it's like you'll take 10 swings with the light one, 10 swings with the medium one, 10 swings with the heavy one. You'll do right side, you'll do left side, you'll then go back and do the light one, and then you'll go to your club and all this stuff. And like Tom Brady used to underload, overload train for throwing a football. I think it's genius. And obviously, the more you can do, like if you've got a 30-inch vert, I don't know, just without weights, and then all of a sudden you got a 20-inch vert with weights, but then you eventually turn it to where now I got a 25-inch vert with weights. You got to be able to say like, all right, well, I gained 5 inches with a weighted vest or something on me. I've got to be able to have gained at least 5 inches on my normal vert. But I have no idea what my vert is. See, like that I can tell you like from dunking or jumping and grabbing the rim, all that. Like I can 2-hand dunk on 9 feet 9 inches. You know what I mean? But something about that next, it's scary.
No.
You know what I mean? It's scary. It's like if you were running and you wanted to sprint for a mile, just like, or challenge yourself to sprint as much as you can. You're like scared you're going to get tired, or scared you're going to hurt yourself until you sprint a quarter of a mile, and then you turn it into half a mile, and then whatever. So I think you just got to just like jump.
Yeah. What is all that noise?
I don't know.
Man, somebody wants to come in, man.
It might be spooky.
Let them in.
I definitely appreciate you coming,
thanks
man.
for your
That's
time,
really
man.
fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And
This
check
is always
out
fun.
at BryanGolf.
Yeah, that's it for everything.
Everything.
BryanGolf.
At BryanGolf.
Instagram will get you to everywhere else.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
All right,
Appreciate it,
boys.
buddy.
See ya.
I enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't dress up for Halloween.
It's all good.
I thought you were joking. Nailed it. He only lasted 2 minutes.
That's what his wife says too.